My name is Ruth Freund Reiser. I was born April 11th, 1929, in Prague, Czechoslovakia. I was a child of middle-class Jewish parents. My father worked as a bank clerk. As native Czechs, my parents considered themselves as much Czech as Jewish. In 1933, I was in my second year at a public girls' secondary school. The Germans occupied Prague in March 1939 and imposed many restrictions. We were no longer allowed to attend school, so my education stopped when I was only 13 years old. We had to surrender many of our other possessions, such as radios, bicycles, musical instruments, and even pets. We weren't allowed to walk in certain streets or go to a park or a cinema or even use a bus or streetcar. For me, normal life was at an end. I went to Therensted Ghetto on June 5th, 1943, when I was only 17 years old. We had a pink slip slipped under our door telling us that we had to leave. We took our shoes, warm clothes, food, and bedding. We had to go to a building that was for trade centers. And we stayed here for 2 days, until we got transported. When we got to the ghetto, we were assigned dirty lofts, and it was overpopulated. I was then deported to Auschwitz from the Therensted Ghetto in the late 1944s. Some weeks later, I was selected for a labor transport. I wanted to be sure that I'd get out of Auschwitz, and I managed to stand near the front of a column of about 1,000 women. Then, a command of turnabout dashed my hopes. I ended up at the back of the line with those to be gassed. Nobody slept that night, as expecting to be dead. We waited in the front of the crematorium. By a twist of fate, the next day, I was put on another labor transport. I was deported to Lenzing, a subcamp of the Mauthausen concentration camp, which had even less food and wasn't edible. Liberated by American troops, I returned to Prague, where I found out that I was the only survivor.